You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps and standing updates from Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. 10 teams got an off day today, but we'll start with an American League game between the team of Sox, the White Sox, and their new and improved offensive power-heavy lineup beat the Boston Red Sox 9-2. Lucas Giolito, former All-Star, got the win, and Martin Perez, now his second straight loss in 2 starts since joining the Red Sox. American League East baseball game, the New York Yankees beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-4. Tommy Kahnle got his second win out of the bullpen. This game went into extra innings, but was walked off by the Yankees in the 11th during their home opener of 2020. American League Central game, the Indians beat the Tigers 5-2. Brad Hand now with 4 saves on the season with the Indians, and the Indians stay at the top of the American League Central. The Tigers still in last place. One of our games of the day here on Major League Baseball's virtual network, the Kansas City Royals beat the Seattle Mariners by a score of 5-1. Danny Duffy gets his first win of 2020, and Justice Sheffield now 2 straight losses in his rookie campaign with the Mariners. A rematch of the opening series, the Minnesota Twins now hosting the Oakland Athletics, and the Twins have won Game 1. Kenta Maeda, one of the newer pitchers in the rotation for the Twins, gets his second win of the season, and Mike Fiers now 0-2 to start his year with the Athletics. Taylor Rogers has caught some fire. He now has 3 straight saves in 3 opportunities. American League West game, the Los Angeles Angels beat the Texas Rangers by a score of 11-5. It was a bullpen game that was finished in extra innings. The Los Angeles Angels scored 7 in the 11th inning, and that was quite an abundance of insurance and allowed them to scoot away with an 11-5 win. Hansel Robles got the win out of the bullpen. Over to the National League, a National League East game. This one also went into extra innings, made it to the 11th. The Nationals were able to score 1 in the 11th after this game remained tied after 9 innings at 1. Wander Suero got the win out of the bullpen, and Brad Brach hit with the loss. He gave up the walk-off hit. Our other game of the day here on Major League Baseball's virtual network, the Philadelphia Phillies beat the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 4-0. Jake Arrieta pitched 8 innings, earned his first win of 2020. The Phillies got offense from JT Realmuto, who hit a solo home run in the 3rd inning, and got a Bryce Harper 3-run home run in the 8th inning. National League Central game, the Cincinnati Reds beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 3-2. Sonny Gray with the win, Joe Musgrove with the loss, and Raisel Iglesias now has 2 straight saves and 2 opportunities to do so. And an interleague game between the Baltimore Orioles and the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals losing this game remain tied with the Brewers at the top of the NL Central. Michael Givens now has 3 saves on the season. This is another game that went into extras, but a lead padded on by the Orioles in the top half of the 10th. It was too much for the Cardinals, who didn't score at all in the bottom of the 10th inning. Moving over to standings, starting in the American League East, the New York Yankees, now with 4 straight wins, are at the top of the AL East 5-2 record. Toronto Blue Jays have now lost 2 in a row and sink further down, although they're still a half game back of the division lead with a 5-3 record. The Baltimore Orioles now at 4-3. The Boston Red Sox lose another game and are tied for last place with a 2-6 record, 3.5 games back of the division. The Rays, who had an off day today, still on a 3-game losing streak prior to today and are tied for last place with a 1-5 record. Moving to the American League Central, the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago White Sox tied for first place. The Indians got a win today, as did the White Sox. White Sox now on a 2-game winning streak. The Minnesota Twins have now won 3 in a row and have beaten the Oakland Athletics for the first time this year. Have evened out their record, 4-4 with a .500 winning percentage. The Royals, pretty much in the same boat, a 3-game winning streak, but they're 3-3. That's their record right now, tied for third place. And the Detroit Tigers have now lost 4 in a row and are in last place, 3.5 games back of the division lead. Moving to the American League West, Texas Rangers and Houston Astros still tied for first place with 5-2 records in the division. Athletics, who just lost to the Twins, are now in a 3-game skid and are 4-4. 1.5 game back to this division. And then the Los Angeles Angels and Seattle Mariners each close to last place. Angels 2-5, Mariners 2-6. Wildcard standings still not too prevalent, but there's where they would be at this moment with all the records around the American League. The National League East sees the Phillies now at the top of the division, 5-3 record. After beating the Milwaukee Brewers today, the Miami Marlins a half game back in the division with a 4-3 record. The Washington Nationals just beat the New York Mets today and are now 4-3. And the Braves had an off day, but 4-3 are the Braves still, and a half game back of the Phillies for the division lead. New York Mets have now lost 3 straight games and are 2-5 on the year. The National League Central, both the Brewers and the Cardinals lost today, so they remain tied for first place now with 4-3 records. The Cubs a half game back after winning today are now 3-3 in the National League Central. A half game back of the division. Pirates have now lost 3 in a row. Latest victim of the Reds' 2-game winning streak. Pirates are 3-4 and tied for last now with the Reds with a 3-4 record. And to the National League West, the San Diego Padres. And they continue to lead the West, 5-2 record, have a half-game lead above the Giants and the Dodgers. The Dodgers now on a 3-game winning streak. And then you have the 2 teams at the bottom, the Arizona Diamondbacks lost their last game, 2-5 record, and the Colorado Rockies on a 3-game losing streak are 1-6. The Dodgers have won the NL West 7 straight times. Still early in the year. And here's the National League wildcard standings. Still not prevalent, but there's where they would be, and you can measure out where each team is in relation to their own division, as well as where the wildcard standings are falling as of right now. This has been your game recaps and standing updates from Thursday, April the 2nd, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You're watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.